You know, Lyndsay, it's the Christmas season. Democrats just want peace and unity, right? That's what they call. They want peace. They want unity. They want everyone to get together. But they call Republicans expletives, right? I don't think this makes sense. And just to highlight this, Vice President Biden's campaign manager, she's his incoming deputy chief of staff. She's getting a lot of heat for what she said during a Glamour magazine interview. When asked about compromising with Republicans and getting along, she said, quote, "I'm not saying they're not a bunch of effers," and it's cable, but we don't say the word here. "Mitch McConnell is terrible. But this sense that you couldn't wish for that, you couldn't wish for this bipartisan ideal, he rejected that. From start to finish, he set out with this idea that unity was possible, that together we are stronger, that we as a country need healing, and our politics needs that too." Okay, so let's just break this down. She's saying our country needs healing seconds after she calls Republicans names, an expletive. To discuss this, let's bring in our company, KDW radio and radio host Steve Sanchez, and healthcare analyst and author of The Cure, Seth Denson. Thanks you both for joining us on this day when we want so much unity. Biden's campaign manager, Jen O'Malley Dillon, called Republicans, we'll just call them effers. How is that, Steve, how do you get unity out of that?
There's no unity. For 4 years, they screamed at us. They called us deplorables. They called us racists. They beat people up. A lot of these fringe radical left groups. All of a sudden now they want us to shut up and go to the corner and unite. And then they do this. We all know. Look, and I'm just going to go on a limb here and just say it. The new Democratic Party is so radical to the left that they're the real deplorables. Just look at their language. Look at their fruits. It's disgusting the way they behave.
You know, Seth, it's amazing, though, that the media, like, she says this stuff. It's all about Donald Trump says this, and he calls these people that, and he's so rude. And then she says something like this, and they kind of go, ah.
Well, I don't know that you would expect anything different, right? No. I mean, but here's the challenge, right? She wanted to walk this back, and what she said, and I'm quoting this, is, you know, I could have used some words that I probably could have chosen better. Sean, you were in the Navy. Any words that are better? I mean, how is that an apology? You're not saying,
use those words.
I messed up. I said the wrong thing. I shouldn't have done that. But I was hearing the speech of Biden in my, we're not the red states and blue states, United States, you expletives. I mean, I just don't get it.
Yeah. You know, the interesting thing is a lot of people on the left are actually coming out and defending her and saying even worse things. But here's what some folks on The View said recently. Listen.
What did you think of her comments, Anna? I thought they were not, over the last 4 years, everything we've heard, I didn't think her comments were bad at all.
I don't know that she was off message. I think that they are parsing what she said because she used an expletive.
We are going to be on a hypocrisy alert for the next 4 years. So get used to the hypocrisy because it's going to be hitting us every minute.
You know, the only thing I can agree with there is Joy Behar, the hypocrisy on their side that we're seeing so much of. But, you know, the interesting thing is, Steve, I saw that the Washington Post put this out. Apparently, Republicans don't like expletives anymore, but it's not about the expletive. It's about the fact, oh, we have it. Awesome. There it is. Naughty words, to be exact. But, you know, the interesting thing is they're saying, oh, we're parsing it. No, we're not. It goes back to this ideology that, oh, we want unity, but we're still going to call these people effers.
Yeah, first off, I didn't even know The View was still on. I thought the ratings were so low that they had bounced off TV. But in any event, they're still there, obviously. I don't take anything that The View says seriously, but I will tell you this. Yes, Lyndsay, you're right. Hypocrisy at a highest level. They say that the last 4 years they've been subjected to what we're saying that they're doing. And when you rewind the tape for 4 years, oh, sure, the president said some things. He tweeted some things. But let's just be honest. The things that he tweeted are nothing in comparison to this new radical left that showed a beheaded Trump with Kathy Griffin. I mean, when was the last time you saw a Republican or conservative do something like that? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, Seth, Dana Lash, radio host, tweeted in response to Joe Biden's aide, she wrote, "Effers is the new unity, apparently." And it's funny because I don't think that they want unity. They say that. What they want is conformity, right? So the left and the media want Republicans and conservatives to just capitulate. They want you to say yes to what we want. They don't actually want unity. They want to be able to call you names. They want to be able to degrade you. They want to, and you look back. They have a history, right? Harry Reid said some horrible things about President Bush and Mitt Romney and all these people, and nothing happened during those presidential year cycles because it didn't matter. If the left's doing it, it's okay.
Well, but that's right. But this is consistent across all themes, right? I mean, listen, we want to empower women, but not Amy Coney Barrett because, by God, she's a conservative, so we can't praise her for her accomplishments. I mean, this is a consistent theme, and your point, you're absolutely right. It's not about unity. It is about conformity. You're only unified if you're on their side. That's the point that they're trying to make here.
Oh, yeah. And in talking about Amy Coney Barrett, it's a great transition. Thank you, Seth. Nicole Walsh, she also said some egregious things. We could even show them. About these effort comments. But anyway, I want to play what Nicole Walsh recently said about Amy Coney Barrett.
But I detect in McConnell is relief. I don't think McConnell liked working with Donald Trump. I think he was craven enough to know that he could put whatever judges he wanted on the United States Supreme Court, just call Trump again and say, hey, do Gorsuch, do Kavanaugh next, and let's do a Hail Mary with the real right-wing lunatic. I mean, I don't think that Mitch McConnell has any distress or despair about working with Joe Biden.
A Supreme Court justice, a right-wing lunatic, Steve.
Right-wing lunatic. You know the nerve of Nicole, the nerve of MSNBC, the nerve of the left. This is the same people, the same ideology. The day after the inauguration of Trump, they're walking around with private parts of a woman in terms of hats, walking around, and they're saying right-wing lunatics. I think, the proof is in the pudding. There's a lot of left-leaning lunatics. We've seen them. We've seen their antics. And to me, I'm going to continue to keep speaking out against it because it's got to stop. I want unity. I want peace. Everybody does. But lead by example. Just don't tell us what you want, and you're doing the opposite.
Exactly. All right, guys, I want you both to stick around. We've got the company quiz. It's a Friday, so that's, of course, obvious. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be fun. All right, if you've been watching the show for a while, you know what happens on Friday. It's the company quiz. Now, I know we've got a lot of new viewers, so thank you, A, for tuning in, but I'll walk you through how this works. I take stories making headlines in the news and ask related trivia questions. Here to play, back with us, healthcare analyst and author Seth Denson and radio host for KDWN in Las Vegas, Steve Sanchez. He knows how to play a couple games on the Strip, right? You ready?
Yes, a little bit.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right. Lyndsay, you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right. Let's get to question one. The 8-day holiday of Hanukkah wrapped up this week. Who was the first president to recognize Hanukkah in the White House? A, Jimmy Carter, B, Bill Clinton, C, Ronald Reagan, or D, Gerald Ford? Let's get those letters up. Show me what you got. Lindsay's got some nice new fancy letters that I believe, is it your niece made for you?
Yes, my niece made me letters. She mailed them to me. It came out of
Let's get the letters up, boys.
Idea, or Krause.
And we're starting off with Seth Denson in the lead. That's right. It was Jimmy Carter. Before Jimmy Carter actually lit the menorah, though, outside the White House in 1979, apparently, this is what I'm told, the Secret Service hurried to a nearby store for a box of 8-inch long matches for him to light them with. Interesting. Interesting. All right. All right. Seth Denson on the board early. Question 2. Calls rang out this month to ban the Electoral College, mostly from the left and sore losers like Hillary Clinton. But this isn't the first time that there have been calls to do that. Which president actually supported a proposal to abolish the Electoral College? Was it A, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, B, Andrew Johnson, C, Richard Nixon, or D, George W. Bush? Let's get those letters up. And Steve Sanchez coming through big. That's right. He bets on C and wins big. The 1968 election was a solid electoral win for Nixon. He won every state but Minnesota and the District of Columbia, if you're interested. But he only won the popular vote by less than 1%. Public opinion turned against the college after the election, and a bipartisan proposal passed the House with Nixon's support 339 to 70. But that's where it ended, luckily, for those of us who are believers in the Electoral College. Anyway, it's 1-1. Lyndsay, so far not on the board, but let's see what we can do with question 3. President Trump was born in New York City, but he's actually only the second president to have been born there. Who was the first president to have been born in New York City? Was it A, Woodrow Wilson, B, Theodore Roosevelt, C, Grover Cleveland, D, Martin Van Buren? I see Lyndsay reaching real quick for one of those nice new letters. I hope that means she knows the answer. There's got to be some kind of history thing.
Got to get on the board here.
You got to get on the board. All right, guys, let's see what you got.
I'm guessing.
She guessed early and guessed wrong. Seth and Steve both notch a point for themselves. That's right. It was B, Theodore Roosevelt. He was born and bred in Manhattan. The 26th president also served in the state assembly, including as assembly minority leader. It's interesting.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. Question 4. Last week, President Trump attended the annual Army-Navy game. We don't need to talk about who won. That's not important right now. Doesn't matter. It was just a good game.
That's how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. All right.
Feeling like Navy.
That's right. It was unfortunate. It was, I'll blame it on COVID. Everything else is on COVID. There have been many TV shows that have taken place in U.S. military settings. One iconic TV show featured an episode where everyone bets on the Army-Navy game. But while they're listening to the game, a bomb drops in their camp. While it doesn't explode, it causes a panic. Which iconic TV show did that occur in? Was it A, McHale's Navy, B, Hogan's Heroes, C, NCIS, or D, MASH? Lyndsay, do you know all 4 of those shows?
No, I only know one of them.
All right. But you may have known one, but you got it right, as does everyone else. That's amazing. All of you guessed MASH correctly. In its first
If you're a fan, you would expect that from that show. Come on.
Exactly.
No, listen, did either one of you actually know that?
Oh, I knew.
Oh, yeah,
I had a
love
pretty
it.
good
whatever.
sense. I don't remember the episode.
Well, it was episode 20, as a matter of fact, titled The Army-Navy Game. It had a bomb fall into the camp as everyone was listening. It turned out the bomb was dropped by the CIA and released a flurry of propaganda pamphlets when it released. So, interesting. But I'm surprised. I'm shocked that you guys got that.
I'm shocked you don't have it on rerun in your office.
All right. We've talked about Pete Buttigieg. He's the former mayor of South Bend, Indiana. It's a small city with 100,000 people in it. Just rubbing that in. He has been chosen by Biden to lead the Department of Transportation, if confirmed. We wondered this week whether Mayor Pete actually has the credentials to jump from a local job like that to a cabinet position overseeing a massive bureaucracy. But there have actually been presidents who served on the local level in their political careers first. Which U.S. president previously served as mayor of Buffalo, New York? A, Martin Van Buren, B, Grover Cleveland, C, Franklin Roosevelt, or D, Millard Fillmore? Let's see if you can transition from MASH to this. Let's get those letters up, guys. The two guys keep on a roll.
Man.
They're tied 4-4.
Great.
That's right, Grover Cleveland. He was only a mayor a few months in 1882 before Democrats pushed his nomination for governor of New York. He won that seat but only served as governor for a few months before being thrown in the ring for president, where he served from 1885 to 1889 and then again from 1883 to 1887. Ironically,
Vote Cleveland for Buffalo. That was the slogan.
Yeah.
Come on.
But remember, he successfully lost his re-election and then ran again. That's something that I know a lot of folks are urging President Trump to get back in the race in 2024. All right, question 6. Dominion Voting Systems has come under fire repeatedly since Election Day, accused of having all kinds of faults in their balloting equipment. Virginia's nickname is the Old Dominion State, and it was the first British colony established after the New World, making it at the time the 5th domain of England. So in the 17th century, besides Virginia, Scotland, Ireland, and England itself, what was the remaining realm ruled by the British throne? Was it A, India, B, Australia, C, France, or D, Canada? Guys, you got tied 4-4, so this is a big deal for you. You need to figure out if you can get this.
Ooh.
I want to see those letters. Put them up. Lyndsay's going back and forth. She's got her letter locked in. She chooses B. The two guys choose D. Everybody is wrong. It was C, France. England claimed the throne starting in the 1340s and gave up the claim around 1800. By that point, France had become a republic and, didn't like the idea of a king anymore. This brings us to the tiebreaker, guys. President Trump may have acted in several films before becoming president, but he wasn't the first to do so. Ronald Reagan was the first actor elected president. How many films did he act in before he became president? I need a number. Start with you, Steve.
I would say 11.
You say 11. Seth Denson, what do you say?
20.
20. Lyndsay, just for fun?
12.
12. Seth Denson, congratulations. You are the closest, but not that close. He starred in 53 movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Anyway, gentlemen, thank you for playing. Congratulations to Seth Denson again. Merry Christmas to you all, and we look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Merry Christmas, y'all.